I'm going to be tackling these love questions that I see on Facebook and various other different places that are anonymous. The first question is, so any input would be great. I've been dating someone now for 4 to 5 weeks. We text every day, but only able to communicate over 1 day a week, sleepover. The job he works is Wednesday 10 to 3 p.m. The other days are double shifts. I don't know about the double shifts till like in the 2 weeks. I thought it was a temporary thing, but it's not. Would you date someone who you can only see once a week? I love him, but honestly, if I had a car, it wouldn't make the difference. It wouldn't change. I finally told him last night, I don't think it's going to work. I get the job comes first. If I have no problems with that, I don't know. I'm just wondering. Thanks. Okay, so first thing I do is I program my rods. Higher self, show me my yes. Higher self, show me my no. Higher self, I am balanced. I am not balanced. So every time you do your rods, I always ask, you calibrate your rods and then you do verification. So when I calibrate, I'm asking, are you yes, my yes and no, right? Everyone has their own yes and no. Everyone's yes and no is unique to them. There's no right or wrong answer to yes and no. I am balanced. And then I ask the no, show me my no, and then I ask if I am balanced. And if I am balanced, then I proceed to douse. If I'm not balanced, then I use different tapping techniques to establish brain-heart coherence. Okay? So, the first part of this is, okay, he works a lot. He's on his grind. If you want somebody who's going to be a good provider and things like that, you got to let them do what they need to do, okay? If he is a workaholic and if your love language is that you need to see him, like quality time, you may need to either be understanding, let me douse, higher self of the United person. Okay, is that? You may need to be understanding that he's a workaholic. Okay, so don't be understanding. That says no. Or find another relationship to where that's meeting your love language, that you need quality time, which is what my rods are saying. Go ahead and, just move on. Maybe just be friends, but understand that, he's in that mode right now. And when men are building, they need to do that. They need to build in order to provide for what they plan on to taking on later, whether it's their wife, family, kids. They want to be able to provide for those things. So if he's in building mode and that's not your cup of tea, go ahead and find someone who that is your cup of tea and move on. So, and let's see, I told him last night I don't think it's going to work out. My rods have already said it's not going to work out. It's best that you find somebody who matches more so of your love language with that person. So I hope this helps. I know it's not necessarily what you wanted to hear, but it is what I got from spirit. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. If you are following me on TikTok, I'm moving to the next vice one that you have. And thank you so much for joining me on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay, guys, advice please. I've been dating this guy for 2 months. This one time he told me that he loved me, but it's just not as much as I love him. What he said doesn't sit well with me, so I broke up with him over that. Did I overcorrect? Is it possible that he meant no harm? It's normal, like normal situation. How would you guys have reacted? Please advise. Okay, I'm gonna decipher between the lines here, but first let's set up. Okay, so when you have your rods, right, whether you get a pendulum, these rods, either way works. I use these because I do a lot of outside nature dowsing and I do a lot of home cleanings and home enhancements. So these help with the home enhancements, but you can use a pendulum as well. It all works the same. It's just some works faster than others. So if you're doing pendulum questions, okay, it's ideal, okay, depending on seeing this way, depending on seeing this way or that way. It's cool. You could do that, and also with map dowsing. But if you're out in the field and you have to move around, these are more ideal. So whenever you break your concentration, you get distracted, you get thrown off whatever you were thinking, you get too tired, you're too fatigued, then you know you need to pause on dowsing. Take a minute to either reset, restructure, or just take a break and then come back to it. Because dowsing uses four areas of four wavelengths at the same time. Because you have to think, like it's active thinking mind, and sometimes it gets super active thinking mind. And then once you have the vision right here, and then you have to zen out like you're meditating, right? And the rods don't start moving until you reach theta. So when you have good brain heart coherence, these rods will move like nothing. But when you're getting fatigued or distracted, they start to slow down, and that's when you can tell you either need to break or you need to recalibrate. So I'm going to recalibrate, and then we're going to get into this question. All right, rods, show me my yes. Higher self, show me my yes. Okay, great. Higher self, show me my no. Okay. Higher self, I am balanced. And I always like to ask the higher self, but I'll talk about that more in the next segment. Okay, so please advise, I've been dating this guy for 2 months. Please connect to the this man. Okay, I'm connected to this person. Okay, is this guy a good fit for her at this time? Yeah, it's saying this dude's good fit for you at this time. One time he told me he loved me, but it is just not as much as I love him. Okay. What he said didn't sit well with me, so I broke up with him over that. Did she overcorrect? Meaning, did she overreact to him saying he didn't love her just as much? Did she overreact to this? Okay, that's a yes. So you did kind of overreact just a little bit. Question, why did you overreact to that? Because if he's telling you his truth and you are not okay with it, like you're to the point where, oh my God, that's crazy, I'm going to break up with you. That's a trigger. So somewhere in your past, that happened to you and it wasn't a good situation. So you did something to protect yourself. And that's okay at that time, but it may not serve you to act like that. Hi, I'm waving hi. Thank you for joining. It may not serve you to act like that in a current relationship. You're bringing past stuff into the current relationship. And in Tantra, that is called either echo or your counterfeit personality. So I would highly advise for you to get either some training or grab some books on what it is to be triggered, what it is to experience counterfeit personalities, and what it is to operate in your feminine. So there are several different counterfeit personalities. There is the ego. There is psychopathic, schizophrenic, oral, anal, and masochistic. And what I'm picking up from this one is that you kind of sabotage your own things. Like you play victim role and then you sabotage it even more. And that is a masochistic type of trait. However, you may have other layers on top of that to where, okay, it's now just masochistic showing up, but the root layer may be something else. So I highly advise that you take an opportunity to do some woman in the mirror reflection. Do some shadow work. Figure out what is your ego, what is your trigger, what is your counterfeit personality, and work on that so that when these things come up and you hear that comment, you can react and be like, okay, if I react this way, is it towards scarcity, fear, or is it toward abundance and joy and love? Because if someone's saying, okay, you love them, if you love somebody unconditionally or you love them, it doesn't really matter if they love you back. It's kind of like you have to give without expecting giving. So that is a moon trait or a trait to where it's feminine energy and it's the mother. The mother gives. The mother gives and gives without expectation of giving stuff back. And that's one of the archetypes of a woman. However, if your masochistic is so strong that your moon is not coming online, then this situation will be another situation 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. If you get married, you bring it into marriage, then your kids will emulate it and you'll see it in your kids. You generally don't want that. So I highly advise that you study your triggers, your counterfeit personality, your shadow work, and do some shadow work while you're in this relationship so you don't sabotage it. Okay, so you broke up. Yeah, you did overreact. Is it possible that he meant no harm? Let's ask. Higher self, show me my yes. Higher self, show me my no. Higher self, I am balanced. Was the balance technique you did? Yes, I did do a balance technique. Is that what you mean? Let me turn that off. Sorry. Was that what you mean? Like right here. Like I asked after I calibrate my yes and no. So this is my yes and this is my no for me. Some people may yes be like this. Some people's yes be like this. Some people's yes may be still. Some people's yes may be this. Yours is your own. So when I say balance, what was the balance technique you did? EFT, emotional freedom technique. I did emotional freedom technique. So what I did is I grounded. This is my grounding. I'm tapping my brain to my higher heart and getting it to balance. Tapping my brain to also to my heart because I'm doing a circle, little circle. Emotional freedom technique, right? All right. Show me my yes. Show me my no. And then I hold my left hand or my right hand to my solar plex. I'm balanced because that's where the ego is, right? That's where your confidence is. You're welcome. So next is it possible that he meant no harm? Higher self, connect with the higher self. He did not mean any harm. Again, you took it too much. You were triggered, for real. You need to work on that before you sabotage something good. Is it normal, like a normal situation? How would you guys have reacted? Please advise. Thank you. Okay, so again, 5 and 7, scarcity model versus love and abundance, right? Not bringing past issues into a present conversation. We all make mistakes. We all mess up. We're all learning and growing. And when we have relationships, that's also how we grow, and that's also how we can grow a little faster. The thing is, when you see stuff, you do research to get better so you don't sabotage something that is good. I hope this helps. Let me know